Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So 50-year-old Michael Hardin of Utah is a former police officer, and he was seen in photos and on surveillance video inside the Capitol. He was wearing a Trump beanie on January 6th. In a text message to a friend, Hardin wrote, quote, "We stormed the Capitol. I am here now. I know you don't like Trump, but he is the rightful president. We will return until we win." But despite being a police officer for 20 years, Hardin told the FBI agents who interviewed him that he didn't realize that he broke any laws that day. Until they reached out and contacted him, he had no idea that he did anything wrong. So prosecutors wrote in a court document, quote, "It somehow did not cross his mind on January 6th that at the very least, he would have needed to go through security in order to enter the Capitol building." Hardin was arrested on April 2nd of last year, and he was charged with the common misdemeanors: entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and then 1 count of parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. So he pleaded guilty to the parading charge several months ago, and he was facing up to 6 months in prison, up to 5 years of probation, and up to $5,000 in fines. However, prosecutors were only asking for 45 days in jail. They argued that due to the fact that he was an officer of the law, he should have known better than most people. They said he should have especially known that a mob can become very dangerous. But in a sentencing memorandum, Hardin's attorney said that on January 6th, his client had, quote, "succumbed to the herd mentality," and that he had, quote, "fully consumed the Kool-Aid." I mean, we agree there. He also conceded that Hardin had no excuse for committing his crimes, but then he went on to argue for probation, and he said that essentially Hardin has suffered enough. He said, quote, "His occupation and livelihood has been decimated, his reputation sullied, his family is fractured. He is suffering and will continue to suffer the stigma of his actions. His entire family was detained at an airport and missed their flights in the course of a vacation because Mr. Hardin has unknowingly been placed on a no-fly list by the TSA." I mean, first of all, should have thought of that before you broke the law, perhaps, right? And if his livelihood has been so decimated, how is it that this guy is taking a vacation? He's taking his family on vacation, one that requires a flight, no less. But sure, he's been decimated. Anyway, his attorney also told a news outlet that he feels ashamed, and he especially feels bad about how his actions have reflected on law enforcement. Unfortunately, Hardin's case was presided over by another Trump appointee and stooge that I think I've talked about before, Timothy Kelly. He hasn't been as bad as McFadden, but he's been far too lenient in these cases. I couldn't locate any information about what Judge Kelly may have said in court, but he ended up sentencing Hardin to only 30 days of home detention, 18 months of probation, and 60 hours of community service. And then he also ordered him to pay a $500 restitution fee. Not anywhere near enough, especially considering the fact that he absolutely should have known better. As a cop of 20 years, he absolutely should have known better. So I really do hope he is ashamed, because but for his presence, officers would not have been beaten and tasered and kicked and sprayed with all kinds of chemicals. That's on him. Officers died because of him, because of severe head injuries that they sustained that day. He should be ashamed. And again, he claims to have lost everything, all because he fell for the lies of a lifelong con artist who's off living his best life at a golf course. Was it worth it? Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. If I hear any more, I'll let you know. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.